Rice. He's got an opening. Rice, he could go all the way. He's got one man to beat.
Chase Becker spins, hangs, complete. Broughton breaks through. It's a race to the end zone. Touchdown, Sioux. The Sioux strike first.
Used to be
On the road. Conquers back on top as Region 8 champions.
That's Ben Heenick with a load of steam, and he bowls over.
One as Blake Burnstrom looks to go. Blake Burnstrom floating in midair for two.
Backdoor cut. Cheryl Hayes off the glass for two. There is Nesham. Wow, look at that shot by Addison Nesham. She's putting on a show. You think her heart is pounding? No way. The Lusitania Buffalo Bombers are headed to the state.
Corner, 3 seconds, Simiato. No. Put back, no. The Killdeer Cowboys survive.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of GameDay Media, LLP, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent by GameDay Media, LLP.
GameDay Media, LLP does not own the rights to the background music of this live stream. All rights belong to the music owners. No copyright infringement intended.
Today's Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by RTC Networks, Hagen Equipment Incorporated, First International Bank and Trust, Nodak Insurance Company, Eric Mogan, Johnson and Sundin, Attorneys at Law, Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial, Farmers Union Oil of Watford City, Patriot Fuels LLC, Mackenzie County Heritage Park and Museum, Cornerstone Bank, TNT Measurements Incorporated, Northern States Fishing Tools, WCAG Church, Doug Rolfson, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Wolfpack Booster Club, NCC, Dakota Country 96.1 FM.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701-842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
Looking to save on fuel and fuel up fast? Patriot Fuels of Alexander, North Dakota is your partner in profit. We're proud to support the trucking industry with high-speed fueling systems, top-quality products, and vendor relationships that put your success first. Join the Patriot Fuels Fleet Card program and unlock exclusive discounts, or simply pay at the pump. Either way, you're fueling with integrity and efficiency. Patriot Fuels, driven to deliver more, located in Alexander, North Dakota. At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota, from oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701-842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
To Watford City, as we are here for tonight's football game between the Grand Forks Central Knights and the Watford City Wolves. My name is Titus Stenberg, happy and proud to be bringing you tonight's ball game. And let's take a look at the teams down on the field. It's the third-ranked team in the state, the Grand Forks Central Knights. And their opponent today is the home team, the Watford City Wolves. So happy to have you aboard here for tonight's outstanding AA matchup as we get ready for this one. My name is Titus Stenberg, happy and proud to be joined tonight by Ross Sundin. Ross, what are you looking forward to for tonight's ball game?
Well, I'm looking forward to see what happens down in the trenches, Titus. We know that Coach Dooley's got an excellent offensive line. They run a lot of rotation in order to stay fresh. They've dominated the games they've been successful in, the last two in particular. And, of course, then they're facing the Central defense. And I can't think of any better defense against the run right now than I can at Central.
Yeah, Grand Forks Central is putting up some crazy numbers on defense, allowing just 64 yards per game. Meanwhile, Watford City averaging 333 yards. And they are doing some great work as they get ready to go here today. It's going to be strength versus strength when Watford City has the football. I'm really looking forward to that matchup of the Watford City rushing offense and Grand Forks Central's rushing defense. We welcome you into your Hagen Equipment pregame show. Hagen Equipment, your source for Case IH, Bobcat, and many more lines of equipment in Watford City. While we have a second, let's go ahead and take a look at the AA polls coming into action here today, as both of these teams are on the polls there. AA, and we've got Minot North sticking around at number 1, followed by Kindred at number 2, and then these Grand Forks Central Knights right there at number 3, followed by Devils Lake at 4, Central Cass at 5, and then Grand Forks Central's main rival, Red River, right there in the receiving votes category, along with these Watford City Wolves. So both of these teams getting some statewide attention coming into play here today, and it will be a fun matchup to see how these teams do out there on the field as the teams are getting ready for the opening coin toss. And we'll see who is going to be able to get the ball first here today. So it's homecoming week. Busy week all across Watford City. The coronation happened earlier today. The parade was well attended, and outstanding Western North Dakota weather here on this final Friday of summer, according to the calendar.
Well, Titus, it feels like football in the air tonight, doesn't it?
Yep. Last week got a little hot. It was hot and humid and sticky last week. Thankfully, this week feels a little bit better. We had a lot of cloud cover early in the day. That has went away. It looks like it's going to be absolutely sunny and beautiful for the final moments of sunlight here today as we will play into the dark here this evening. And if you're anywhere near the Watford City area, make sure you check out the Rough Riders Center after the game is over, as there's going to be a Hall of Fame induction ceremony honoring some great teams and some individuals that have done a lot for Watford City and their history. Watford City won the toss. They will defer, and they will kick towards the setting west end zone. So with that, we welcome you into Game Day Media and Dakota Country 96.1 and your live coverage of this football matchup between Grand Forks Central and Watford City. We will step aside. When we come back, we'll have more of your Hagen Equipment pregame show after this 2-minute timeout.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by TNT Measurements Incorporated, providing oil and gas allocation meter proving, calibrations, and production facility lack provings. To schedule your proving, contact Derek Thompson at 701-421-1351. This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Watford City and Alexander Athletics on Game Day Media. Call financial advisor Doug Rolfson at 701-444-4160 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Dad.
Can you hang out with Grandpa for a bit? I'm down in the barn.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll be up there in a bit.
RTC Networks capture cameras. Keep an eye on what you care about.
Welcome back to Watford City. Let's take a look at our TNT Measurements Player Spotlight. And let's start with Grand Forks Central and take a look at their number 19, Naz Fisher. He is going to be a player to watch today. He has put up some incredible stat lines already. He is Grand Forks Central's leading rusher with 237 yards on 31 carries and 3 touchdowns so far. And he's also one of the best defensive players on this Grand Forks Central roster. And we've got Harper Moberg for Watford City, wears number 52. He's a 6', 202-pound junior. He has had a great 3-game start to this season. We'll talk a little bit more about Harper Moberg. Let's take it down to Ross Sundin with Coach Schauer.
Thank you, Titus. I'm here with Coach Schauer. Coach Schauer, you're in your 4th year at Grand Forks Central. Is that correct?
Yep, that'd be correct.
I understand you guys have a rich tradition for football down there in Grand Forks.
Yeah, we like to take a lot of pride in that we were the first school to start playing football in the state. And, you know, when your school's that old, you have that many alumni, you know. The people love football, the people love hockey, the people love Grand Forks Central.
Walk me through real quick if you could. 2023 Dakota Bowl appearance, 2024 a little bit of trouble, 1-8, and now you got your Reds or your your Knights at 3-0. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just cyclical. You know, when you have good senior classes, you have to capitalize on it. I like to think a couple of years ago we capitalized on a good senior class, and last year's class was pretty thin in numbers, and in that a lot of the sophomores and juniors got a lot of valuable playing time, and now we're here with a good amount of experience, and we like our guys.
25 seniors, what do they bring to the table for you?
Experience and a little bit of energy.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Good luck to you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ross. Those coaches' comments are brought to you by Farmers Union, Watford City Farmers Union. At this time, let's join the national anthem. Find the flag. Under the direction of 3 Sabermen. Tonight's national anthem. Great job there by the pep band. They've had a busy homecoming week as well. They were making noise over there for the Watford City volleyball game that got the win there. At this time, let's join PA announcer Greg McNary as we get ready for the announcement of our starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce, first of all, welcome to Grand Forks Central Knights here tonight. And tonight we're going to announce their starting offense. Starting at left tackle, he's a senior, number 62, Nolan Marshall. Starting at left guard, he's a junior, number 52, Sawyer Harlow. Starting at center, a senior, number 53, Ryder McNally. Starting at right guard, a junior, Number 54, Eli Fisher. Starting at right tackle, a senior, number 50, Brody Melliker. At a wideout tonight, he's a senior, number 13, Brooklyn Bruce. Fullback tonight, senior, number 9, Eli Thompson. Quarterback, senior, number 7, Noah Lease. Wide receiver, senior, number 2, Zaid Martin. Wide receiver, a junior, number 12, Tyson Vaniel. And the featured running back tonight is number 28. Number
19, they said.
Oh, number 19, Nas Fisher. Sorry about that.
Now we're gonna do the wolf totem. Hit it, and we'll introduce our
The starting lineups of the Grand Forks Central team. They're going to pump up the crowd a little bit as we get ready for the Watford City starting lineups. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Patriot Fuels. Patriot Fuels, conveniently located on Highway 85 North between Alexander and Watford City for all of your fueling needs.
And the starting defense for your Watford City Wolves tonight. Starting linebacker, number 3, Tristan DeVries. At a corner tonight, number 4, Connor Winter. At the other corner, number 5, Riley Lido Berger. At safety, number 12, Bryson Wolf. At safety, number 15, Will Langford. At linebacker, number 30, Brogan Shannon. At linebacker, number 52, Harper Mubber. At tackle, number 58, Caleb Pickering. Starting at defensive end tonight, the big redhead, number 72, Brandon Arnold. Starting at defensive end tonight, number 77, Brandon Fincher. Rounding up the starting defense tonight for your Watford City Wolves, number 78, John Holland.
Welcome back as we get ready to go with the opening kickoff of today's ball game is brought to you by Northern States Fishing Tools, their locally owned fishing and rental tool company serving the Williston Basin since 1978. They're honoring the Hall of Fame inductees down on the field. So going to be a ceremony at halftime. Such a fun group. They're being inducted into the Watford City High School Hall of Fame. Once again, that induction ceremony will be taking place as soon as this football game gets over at the Rough Rider Center. So, Ross, it's a pregame energy. You can feel it. Look at the size of this crowd. We're ready for some great football here tonight, aren't we?
We are ready for some great football tonight, Titus, and you can feel the energy when you're down on the field. When I was talking to Coach Schauer, he talked about his seniors and the energy that they bring, and I think we're going to see him come out of the gate pretty hard.
Yes, I think so. And so we're going to get a good look at Grand Forks Central's offense first. And you've got a couple of guys back there ready to receive. Zaid Martin does most of their returning. He's joined back there by Brooklyn Bruce. A couple of good players as Jaden Wagner gets set to kick it deep for Watford City into this soon-to-be setting sun.
You know, Titus, I think one of the players we want to watch tonight is Brooklyn Bruce. He's quite an athlete. Last year he had an unfortunate situation medically with something called compartment syndrome. And he missed a good part of the season, but he's right back where he's left off.
And once again, it's going to be a short kickoff, just like we saw last week. And that was picked up by John Sherrick. And Grand Forks Central will send their offense onto the field first. We can take a look at Grand Forks Central's starting offense as we throw that up on the screen there. As Noah Lease will be their quarterback. Yeah, you can see the rest of the starters there on your screen as Grand Forks Central starts this drive on their own 46-yard line. With 11:56 to go in quarter number 1. Come out with a pistol formation, 2 receivers to the right, and 2 men in the backfield. Here goes Lease with a handoff, and that's going to be Naz Fisher. Breaks 1 tackle and gets up near midfield for a gain of 4. First down carry, and there it is, the 2 guys that we spotlighted, Naz Fisher for Grand Forks Central and Harper Moberg for Watford City involved on that play.
I think those folks are going to be pretty busy out there tonight, Tyson, both of them.
Yes, so we've got a 4-yard carry on first down as Grand Forks Central has the opening possession of the ball game and really good field position to work with here now as they will run the second down play from the left hash mark at midfield. Same formation, pistol for the quarterback, Noah Lease. It's this 4-man front for Watford City's defense. Quick pass to the right side. He's got his man open and close to a first down. Making the catch there was Zaid Martin. And let's see where they spot the football as we take a look at our first RTC Network's instant replay of the ball game.
Looks like they're going to spot him just a little short, Titus.
Yep, looks like a pickup of 5, so a positive play there for the Grand Forks Central Knights. It was a long throw, and it was effective, and now it sets up a 3rd and short. So 3rd down and less than a yard. There's the handoff to Fisher, and he will pick up the first down, dragging a tackler with him inside the 35. So he needed 1, and he picked up 10, make it 11 yards on that carry.
It doesn't take long to see that he's going to be tough to bring down tonight.
Yes. So a 3rd down conversion to start on their first drive. Grand Forks Central ranked number 3 in the state, coming in with an undefeated record of 3-0. 1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. A split end to the right goes in motion and then stops behind the tackle. Handoff goes to Fisher on the right side. And once again, hard to bring down. Another big chunk of yardage there for the Knights.
You can really see that offensive line for the Knights making some headway on that initial surge. They're making some nice holes for Fisher.
They are, that's for sure. Big gain down to the 25-yard line. So Fisher, 3 carries, and they've thrown 1 pass. This is only their 5th play of the drive, and they are already deep into Watford City territory. 2nd down and 1. 2 receivers to the left. Lease throws it. Oh, and it's dropped. Looked like a pretty good pass there for Zaid Martin, but I think he was thinking about the run before he made the catch.
I agree, Titus. You know, make no mistake, this offense runs through Noah Lease. He's been an incredible field general for him so far this year. And you can see that this offense has the opportunity, I think, and the potential to really explode.
Yeah, he's thrown for 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, 327 yards while completing just under 60% of his passes. 2 receivers to the left as Lease hands it off to Fisher on another 3rd and 1 carry, and he's got a first down again and a whole lot more inside the 10, inside the 5. It's going to be 1st and goal, Grand Forks Central. Will Langford made the stop, but Fisher with a big gain on 3rd and 1.
You know, when you look at Grand Forks Central across the board, they're not a huge offensive line, but they're an athletic offensive line.
Yep, I would agree with that as they go to the right hash mark for this 1st and goal play. Ball spotted at the 2. 2 receivers wide to the left. Lease goes under center with an I formation behind him. Handoff goes to Anton Perales, bounce back, and then he surges forward, and he is in there for a Grand Forks Central touchdown. Anton Perales from 2 yards out.
You know, it's the little things. You just saw there when Perales scored that touchdown. His feet never stop moving.
So Grand Forks Central strikes first. Go ahead 6-0 on your NCC scoreboard on a quick 7-play drive. And now they will try to add the extra point off the right foot of Rylan Dobrovolny. A good season kicking for Grand Forks Central. No wind whatsoever here today, and that kick is straight through the uprights. So Grand Forks Central strikes first on the NCC scoreboard. It's the Central Knights 7, Watford City nothing. We'll be back with the Grand Forks Central kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
Farmers Union Oil Company of Watford City has been serving the customers in and around the surrounding community since 1929. Farmers Union Oil believes in community involvement and has supported numerous activities since the beginning. We take pride in giving back to our patrons through dividends and stock retirements. Our customer service should be our top focus to ensure a pleasurable experience for you, our customer. Whether you're looking for gas, fuel, hardware, or just needing to fuel the body, Farmers Union Oil is your one-stop shop.
Welcome back to Watford City's sun-soaked Fridley Field. That was an impressive drive by Grand Forks Central as they strike first, driving 54 yards in 7 plays. Took just 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock. Anton Perales with the 2-yard touchdown run, and Dobrovolny adding the extra point for the 7-0 Grand Forks Central lead. They will kick it. Dobrovolny will kick it deep. Back to receive Carter Breitbach for the Wolves. He makes the catch just outside the 10-yard line from the 11 with a full head of steam. Comes to the near side. It's across the 25 to the 30. It's a 20-yard return. Yeah, that was a pretty good return going from one side of the field to the other.
Beautiful return, little shake and bake in the end to pick up a few extra yards. Coach Dooley's going to like that.
Let's take a look at the Watford City starting offense. We'll throw that up there on the screen for you once again. My bad. That is in the pregame show there, so we won't throw that up for you at this moment, but it is the Watford City offense taking the field for the first time as they will start at the 30-yard line with 8:36 to go in this first quarter. The Wolves offense has been a lot of fun to watch so far this year as Baylor Salas, they don't snap it to him. It's to Jaden Wagner, the fullback, and that dive play works out really well on first down.
That's something we haven't seen for a while, Titus. I don't know if we had that all week last week.
I think they ran it about 3 times, and it's one of those little extra plays that really makes defenses think. You're waiting for some misdirection going on in the backfield, and all of a sudden they snap it to the guy who's closest to the center, and he's able to get behind that offensive line who played extremely well last week. I asked Coach Dooley who he thought had a good game. As we're going to see a passing play here, and it's picked off by Naz Fisher. 30, 25, 20, inside the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Naz Fisher. And that one is a pick 6 for the Grand Forks Central Knights.
He just sat on that and waited for it and seized the day.
Yeah, we just at the very end of that return there, but that was a huge catch and run for Naz Fisher. And Watford City likes to run the football, and I think we're going to see more running. But now the problem is falling behind this big this early, already down 13-0.
You know, with our early success in the run, I was a little surprised to see them go to the pass so quickly.
Yeah, we didn't see it last week. They waited until late in the game to throw any passes, and this time it comes on the second pass attempt of the day, and it results in an interception for a touchdown. Dobrovolny adds the extra point, and with that, it is Grand Forks Central 14, and Watford City nothing with 7:46 left to play in quarter number 1. We'll be back with a kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
When the job demands power and precision, turn to Hagen Equipment in Watford City, your proud Case IH and Bobcat dealer. From equipment rentals to a full service department and an extensive parts inventory, Hagen Equipment has what you need to get the job done right. Stop by 805 South Main Street in Watford or visit HagenEquipment.com. Hagen Equipment, work ready, field proven.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. Boy, a perfect start for Grand Forks Central as their offense ran 7 plays for 54 yards. Now Naz Fisher gets a pick 6. Another extra point is added on, and it's 14-0 as Watford City will try to get the ball back and do something with it as Carter Breitbach runs it out from the 9-yard line, again going from the far side of the field to the near side of the field. Breaks a tackle. A flag is down. And we'll check what the first penalty marker of the day indicates. After that, pick 6 by Fisher has put Grand Forks Central ahead now 14-0. Drew Floggen is the white hat tonight, and a holding called against Watford City, so that's going to take away the field position for the Wolves. They're going to have a long ways to go as they try to settle into a rhythm here on offense.
Yeah, that's uncharacteristic for Coach Dooley's Wolves. Last week they played a very disciplined game, and I hope that that's just a rarity in this first half for the Wolves.
Yeah, first penalty of the game so far tonight for either team, and it goes against Watford City. They march it back to the 11-yard line. 7:37 to go in the first quarter. NCC scoreboard shows Grand Forks Central up big early at 14-0. First down, and it was hard to see who got that carry. Ross, did you have a better vantage point than me?
I don't. I got the glare of the sun right in my face.
Riley Liedel-Berger was the ball carrier there, and I'm glad for that, as we've got a lot of things to say about Riley. What a last 2 games. He has had 8 touchdowns, and so far this season, all 3 games combined. Let's take a look at Riley's stats. 63 carries, 473 yards, and 9 touchdowns so far this season for Riley Liedel-Berger. He gets the fake this time, and it's Tristan DeVries taking it over the left side, the 30, the 40, pushes the tackler out of bounds with him at the 45. That gets Watford City and their fans fired up. A 30-yard run by Tristan DeVries.
Riley Liedel-Berger is as dangerous as any back on the field.
And they faked it to him that time. They gave it to Tristan DeVries, and he records Watford City's first down of the ball game. Brooklyn Bruce in on the stop for Grand Forks Central. So that gives the Wolves some breathing room up to the 46-yard line. And let's see what the Wolves can do here on this play. Once again, they fake it to Liedel-Berger. Look at Wagner go. Jaden Wagner inside the 15, the 10, the 5, a stiff arm, and he's in there. Touchdown, Jaden Wagner. 54 yards, and just like that, the Wolves strike back.
That was an impressive rebound after that pick 6.
Absolutely. And that happened in a hurry and after the holding penalty. So Watford City with not very good field position, but it doesn't matter the way that they ran the football on that drive.
They're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
They are, and it was kind of scary there the way that Grand Forks Central's offense struck first and then their defense added some immediate points on, but give the Wolves credit for bouncing right back as they're already up to 97 rushing yards as a team. And now they're going to try for 2 believe it's Tristan DeVries trying the left side, and he is not going to break the plane of the end zone. But the Wolves slow the Grand Forks Central momentum down with a touchdown of their own as Watford City is on the scoreboard. It's now Grand Forks Central 14, Watford City 6. We'll be back with more from Fridley Field after this 30-second timeout.
Since 1978, Northern States Fishing Tools of Watford City has been your trusted partner in the oil field. Serving the Wollaston Basin, we offer top quality fishing and rental tools, including packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. With expert knowledge and decades of experience, we deliver results tailored to your needs, all at competitive prices. Give us a call, 701-842-3350, or visit northernstatesfishingtools.com. Northern States Fishing Tools, quality tools, proven service.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. And Ross, I don't know if it was Grand Forks Central relaxing a little bit after the big lead, or if it was Watford City saying, hey, we're here, we're going to play. We know we're down early, but they're making some noise.
You know, earlier I mentioned the danger of Lido Berger on the field, and you saw it during that drive. We had the big run by DeVries, and then we had the Wagner touchdown. And I think Central's going to learn that they're going to have to be a little bit more balanced in their approach to defending this Wolves offense.
I think it's time to buckle up. We've got a great ball game in store for you already. Lots of highlights in the first 6 minutes of this game as Aid Martin returns that kickoff up to the 42-yard line. And we want to remind you, every one of the touchdowns this year that we see is brought to you by Cornerstone Bank. Cornerstone Bank, we give you straight answers and the best possible financial options. It's your money, so the people who help you make decisions about it should not be only accessible, but also experts. That's what you'll get at Cornerstone Bank. And there's a good play by the Wolves defense. The ball comes out. Grand Forks Central gets back on it. Oh, boy. Watford City really playing with confidence now as they get a forced fumble. I believe that was Thaden Arnold that punched that football out. But then the Grand Forks Central able to maintain possession. Eli Thompson was Eli on the spot there to save the possession. But look at that. That's a loss of 12.
What a defensive swarm. I mean, the Wolves are just playing with a tremendous amount of energy right now.
And now Grand Forks Central, this is almost worse than a holding penalty as they lose 12 yards on that play. It's 2nd down and 22. So they're behind the chains for the first time here tonight. They do have 54 yards of offense all coming on their first drive of the game. Going to set up a screen to the right side. Catch is made. Moberg and Breitbach slow the receiver down. They get some of those 12 yards back, but not all of them. And it's going to be 3rd and long for Grand Forks Central.
Third and 16.
So our scoreboard isn't working correctly all of the time. We apologize for that. We're doing our best, and we're in pretty good shape here for this first quarter. Thank you for joining us on Game Day Media and also on Dakota Country 96.1. Pickup of 7 on that play. So 3rd down for Grand Forks Central, and Lee's going to throw it deep. It is incomplete. I think 4 players had a chance at it, Ross. None of them come down with it.
I tell you, right there you see the arm strength of Noah Lees. I really thought he was going to go to the flat. We had the uncovered receiver out here in the middle slot. He went right down to the middle.
So everybody catch your breath after that play, and it ends up being now a 4th and 16. Obvious punting situation. The point of the field may not be so obvious, but with the down and distance to go, they are going to kick it deep. And that will bounce at the 32. Take a good Grand Forks Central bounce all the way inside the 20, inside the 15. Good punt. Bryson Wolf just stays away from it as Brooklyn Bruce, he gets a 50-yard punt there to flip the field position.
You know, Brooklyn Bruce, they tell me, is an excellent basketball player, Titus. And just watching him out on the field, I'd say he's probably a pretty good athlete in about whatever sport he might choose.
Yeah, and at every position that they probably put him at as well there, as we see him with the punting duties on that play. So Watford City's offense comes back onto the field with some good momentum behind them after that long touchdown run by Jaden Wagner, his second touchdown of the year. He had a long of 22 before getting that 54-yard touchdown run. Watford City right back in this one, and now they have the football starting this drive at their own 14-yard line. Wolves are going to go to the left. Not much running room there. That's a good defensive stop by this defensive front of Grand Forks Central. They've got some athletes up there on the front lines. No gain on that carry. Bring up 2nd and 10.
We might get into one of those tussles where we're playing for field position for the better part of a quarter.
Yeah, I was expecting a kind of a lower scoring game just based on the defensive stats that these two teams have put together, but I think it's safe to say that neither defense has seen an opposing offense like this yet this year.
That's a fair statement.
So 2nd and 10 as Watford City tries to put together another good drive after a drive that covered a lot of ground in not much time, and that play is going to go backwards as Riley Liedalberger was looking for the edge and he never found it.
Where there you could really see the speed of Naz Fisher shine. He came in hard and caught Riley right about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, loss of 2 on that play, so 3rd down and 12 now for the Wolves, and we'll see if the Wolves try to throw a pass now after they find themselves behind the sticks. Their first passing attempt of the game was intercepted by Naz Fisher, and we'll see what the Wolves do on 3rd and 12 here. They're going to keep it on the ground, and it's going to be Wagner. And that time, Grand Forks Central was ready for that dive play. It worked well the first 2 times. That time, not quite as well as Ethan Feldman makes the stop short of first down yardage. Pickup of 6, but that brings up 4th and 6.
Gain of 6 on the play brings up 4th and about 5.5, 6 yards.
So I'm assuming a punt. Well, what do you think, Ross? The way that this first quarter is going.
Absolutely. Too much down in distance otherwise.
Connor Winter wide to the right, and I don't know, this looks like Baylor Salas is going to get the option. He will punt it, the rugby style punt. Nobody back to receive for Grand Forks Central. So Grand Forks Central was a little confused as to what the Wolves were doing as well. It ends up being a good punt by Baylor Salas, a 46-yard punt, and gets it back into Grand Forks Central territory.
You know, I really like that play call, Titus. It's definitely a punt situation. I think Coach Dooley respecting the special teams of the Knights and trying to stay away from maybe the blow up on a return.
Yep, I think that was wise. So the defenses now have each settled in after giving up an early touchdown. Now both of them have stopped, and I think it was 3 and out. Yeah, it was 3 and out in both cases there for both of these offenses. So now Grand Forks Central will take the field for their 3rd offensive drive of the ball game. They scored a touchdown on their first one, and then their defense scored the first time that they were out there. Big hole on the near side. Naz Fisher into the Watford City secondary. Tackled by Riley Liedalberger, but not before he picks up a Grand Forks Central first down on a gain of 12. Nazareth Fisher now up to 59 yards on 5 carries so far tonight.
He just exploded into that hole, didn't he, Titus?
He really did. He is a good athlete, and we've seen it on both ends of the football already in this first quarter. He had the pick 6 for their defense. 4 down lineman for the Wolves. Noah Lease in pistol formation. Takes the snap. Hands it off to Fisher, coming near side again. Thaden Arnold able to bring him down. Oh, no, he wasn't able to bring him down as Fisher kept his balance. And, wow, what an individual effort as we check the RTC Network's instant replay on this one. And that turns into a gain of 11.
It was a real heads-up play by Naz Fisher.
Yeah, I think that was a good call.
He just sat and spun.
Yeah, incredible awareness combined with athleticism. And he picks up the 4th first down of the game for Grand Forks Central. Now inside Watford City territory at the 43-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Under a minute to go in this first quarter. They'll give it to Fisher, this time trying the right side, and that time the Wolves defense was ready, as it's Harper Moberg, our TNT measurement spotlight player there, making the stop. He's the Wolves' leading tackler with 25 tackles coming into tonight's game.
That's just amazing. Moberg meets Fisher one more time, and we'll see it again.
And it looks like that is going to be the final play of the quarter, unless Grand Forks Central hurries up. They've got 6 seconds on the scoreboard. Not set yet. 3, 2, 1. And they will not get that play off. So we will switch sides of the field. Entertaining first quarter is in the books. It's Grand Forks Central 14, Watford City 6. We're back with a second quarter after this 1-minute timeout.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries.
But, like, maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand.
But, like, maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank.
But, like, maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fridley Field. The sun almost getting ready to set here as Anton Perales gets the carry on first down, and he is getting a big carry inside the 20. Harper Moberg brings him down, but a huge start to the second quarter for Grand Forks Central as they go to Anton Perales for a big gain on 2nd and 11.
Well, when he gets moving north-south, he is a load to bring down.
Just his 2nd carry of the game, but that worked out well for Grand Forks Central's rushing offense. And so far, it's been the running games of both of these teams that have been getting the job done. This will be the 6th play of the drive as they have a 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line. Lease, quick pass, right side, dropped by Martin as Harper Moberg. I think he heard the footsteps of Harper Moberg getting close to him.
That's the 2nd time I think he's looking ahead before he's securing the ball. He'll get that worked out in short order, I'm certain.
That time he didn't have quite as much room to run as Harper Moberg was really bearing down on him, and he was ready to make a big hit and minimize the gain there. But instead it's an incomplete pass. Lease now 2 of 5 passing the football for 12 yards. 2nd and 10. Fisher behind Lease in the pistol formation. Takes the snap a little bit high, gets it down, gets it to Fisher, trying the left side, big hole inside the 10, and he's got another Grand Forks Central first down as we take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay. Wyatt Langford able to finish that play off, but first down yardage once again for Grand Forks Central.
You know, Titus, if you're a football aficionado, you got to really respect these two coaches. It's strength on strength. There's nothing gimmicky going on here.
Yes, this is good football. 2 good AA teams right here. Jake Schauer, his 3rd year as head coach at Grand Forks Central, had a lot of success as an assistant coach in Park River. And he's had a lot of success down here in Grand Forks Central as well. There's Fisher going over the left side, and he is in there for another Grand Forks Central touchdown. This one from 5 yards out, his first one on the ground, and that adds to his yardage total and also his touchdown total after he had the pick 6 on defense. 20-6, Grand Forks Central with the lead. And they will line up to go for two. It's going to be a direct snap, and the Wolves are ready for it. John Schierick unable to break the plane of the end zone. Good job by the Wolves defense. We're going to keep it right here during this break, and let's thank a couple of our live read sponsors. First up, McKenzie County Heritage Park and North Dakota Oil Museum. It's Heritage Day tomorrow, just on the west side of Watford City. Make sure you check out all the old-time activities that are going on there. You can visit them throughout the week as well. Outstanding spot to take a look at Watford City area history. The Wolfpack Booster Club, the strength is in the pack. Check them out on Facebook. Great to have the Wolfpack Booster Club come on board and support Game Day Media this year. And let's thank WCAG Church. Check out the service times there on your screen. There's also a Spanish service in Watford City at 1:15 p.m. Check out their locations in Fairview, Belfield, Kenmare, and right here in Watford City. One church in multiple locations. So Grand Forks Central has an 8-play drive that spans the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second quarter, and it ends up covering 66 yards to put them ahead 20-6.
You know, those kind of sustained drives are the drives that take the wind out of your sail. We'll see how the Wolves offense responds now, but I'd say this is a key possession for the Wolves.
Definitely. They struck back good with the touchdown run, and this one is going to bounce and go into the end zone for a touchback. 8 plays, 66 yards on that drive that took a little over 2 minutes, and Naz Fisher with the touchdown run, his first rushing touchdown of the game, but his second touchdown, as he got a pick 6 on defense before that 5-yard touchdown run on offense.
You know, double volley has a nice leg, and considering the way Carter Brightback's been returning some of his kickoffs, I'm sure the Knights are pretty happy that that went into the end zone.
Yeah, I think that looked like probably a good decision from Carter, just where it was bouncing. He wasn't going to have a lot of room, and Carter kind of likes to go from one end of the field diagonally across the other way, which may not have gotten him out to the 20-yard line there unless he was able to break a large amount of tackles. So the Wolves will start this drive at the 20, right up the middle. There it is, that dive play. Nothing fancy. That's just the offensive line trying to push everybody backwards, and it works out pretty well on first down. That may become their favorite first down play here tonight.
Good smash mouth football. We got some bigs up there, and they make it happen.
Coach Dooley very complimentary of his offensive line. After last week's win over Williston, asked him if he wanted to highlight an individual or two, and he named 8. It was the 8 guys that get the playing time there on the offensive line. He said they did a great job as a unit, and it's a clear advantage for the Wolves to have such depth up front where guys can take a little bit of a break and be a little fresh as they continue to try to work against the defensive line of their opponent. Very close to a first down on that 2nd down and 3 carry, and they got it. First down, Wolves.
Yeah, Coach Dooley has a luxury a lot of coaches don't have. And when you've got 8 people that you can rotate in, especially in his offense,
yes,
that's a real asset for this team.
And 10 guys that carry the football. That's how many carried the football last week. And, yeah, that's a lot of good options. Depth is such a blessing in any sport, but boy, especially in football. Wolves were hurt by some injuries earlier in the year. Thankfully, they've stayed pretty healthy now recently as they go to work with a 1st and 10 fumble. The ball is loose.
Central seems to think they've got it.
And they do. Grand Forks Central forces the fumble and gets the recovery. 2nd turnover of the game. And Watford City, which had been +8 in the turnover category coming into tonight, has now gone to a -2 in the turnover ratio this evening. And Grand Forks Central is going to put their offense on the field in outstanding field position. 1st and 10 at Watford City's 33-yard line. 3 receivers right, 1 receiver to the left. Noah Lease in the pistol formation. Sends Fisher in motion to the left. He looks his way. He's going to throw that way, but over his head into the end zone. Langford almost comes away with an interception, as that was intended for number 13, Brooklyn Bruce.
It was well defended. That interception would have been a game changer, too.
Lease now 2 for 6 passing the football for 12 yards. He has had a couple of passes dropped, so that completion percentage doesn't necessarily reflect how he's thrown. But Watford City has played some good pass defense here today.
They've really played well. Make no mistake, Noah Lease has got a nice arm. He's dangerous back there.
2nd and 10 with 2 receivers right. Lease in the pistol waiting for Fisher to tie his shoe. Now he does that, and the handoff goes to Fisher over the left side. Big hole right at the hash mark. And he's got a first down. Like Wyatt Langford may have saved a touchdown with that tackle there.
Number 15, Will Langford. Nice first down.
10th carry of the game already for Naz Fisher.
Man, when Naz Fisher gets to the next level, he's just as dangerous as anything.
That gives him 98 yards today, not including his defensive yardage that he got on the pick 6. 1st and 10 from the 20. 2 receivers right. As Lease marks out the signals from the pistol formation. Takes the snap, hands it off to Perales. Anton Perales keeps the legs churning as he breaks a couple of Watford City tacklers and gets it down to the 14.
You know, he's such a prototypical old school running back. He's got a low center of gravity. He keeps his legs pumping. You can tell he plays with a lot of intensity.
Setting his teammates up in good spot here now for 2nd down and 4. Ball at the 14-yard line of Watford City. Grand Forks Central once again inside the red zone. That'll be a handoff to Perales. Oh, he stumbled that time as he made his cut, and he's going to be short of first down yardage.
I think those are those Fred Fridley turf gremlins out there, Titus.
Must have been. Yeah. Only a gain of 1, and the hole looked bigger than that. So Wolves see if they can take advantage of the little bit of a break that they got there. Now 3rd down and 3. Under 8 minutes left to go before halftime. Neither team has taken a timeout yet. Watford City looking for a big defensive stop. Down by 2 scores. 2 receivers to the right. Lease in the pistol. Takes the snap. He's going to run it himself. And Harper Moberg is there. No gain. I think he lost a yard.
He is tackled by a pack.
It was a big stop for the Wolves.
Take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay as Lease with his first rushing attempt of the game, and the Wolves were ready for him. Enormous play here. 4th down and 3. 2 receivers to the left. Lease in the pistol. Knights trying to add on to a 20-6 lead. Movement up front, and the hard count may have gotten the Wolves. Let's see if anybody for Central flinched.
Encroachment, defense, number 63, 5-yard penalty that results in a first down.
So the 5-yard penalty is going to be all the yardage necessary for the Wolves, or for the Central Knights to continue their drive, as they get a penalty due to the hard count. So 1st and 10, and correction, 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for Grand Forks Central after the 2nd penalty of the first half against the Wolves. Handoff goes up the middle. That was a new ball carrier there. That's Carson Cutterba, the sophomore, getting the carry there, and he picks up 6 yards.
I think Coach Showers is showing us a little bit about the depth on his bench.
Definitely. They too have had 9 ball carriers throughout the season. Cutterba one of them, and he gets them close. Now they've got a 2nd and goal from the 2. Lease going under center this time. Taking his time. And now hands it off once again to Cutterba. Central thinks he's in there, and the officials agree. Touchdown, Carson Cutterba. Grand Forks Central now up 26-6.
It was a nice finish by the sophomore.
Let's take a look at that RTC Network's instant replay. It's the end of it there. That second effort for the sophomore. And Grand Forks Central has added on to their lead with an impressive 7-play drive. (26-6) Knights with the lead on your NCC scoreboard after that Cornerstone Bank touchdown. Dobrovolny out there to try to add on another extra point. Snap spot. Liedalberger came around the edge, but Dobrovolny able to get the kick off and through the uprights in time. Central up by 21 with 6:06 left before halftime. Step aside, we'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
Welcome back to Fridley Field after that Carson Cutterba 2-yard run. Central adding on the extra point and now up by 3 scores. As the Watford City Wolves will try to do something before halftime. Still 6:06 left to play in this second quarter. Carter Breitbach has had a couple of opportunities to return. We'll see if they give him one here as Dobrovolny gets ready to kick it deep from the near hash mark. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line. High kick. Jason Breitbach back into the end zone along with Aaron Luna. That'll be a second consecutive touchback. So the Wolves will once again start at their own 20-yard line. And Ross, the Wolves have been able to move the football. It's been the turnovers that have hurt them so far in this first half.
Yes, you know, we saw that earlier in the year when we were playing other teams and they've been shooting themselves in the foot, and tonight we're doing it to ourselves.
That is the way that this first half has gone, but we saw Watford City score in a hurry when they were able to put together a drive that covered 89 yards. See if they can replicate that here with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Once again, that's been their go-to play on first down. That time they give it to Riley Liedalberger over the right side of this talented offensive line. Picks up about 3.5. Brings up 2nd down and a long 6.
Liedalberger was a little slow to get up there. You could hear that pop up here in the booth.
And these Grand Forks Central Knights, they are a physical team, and I think you'll feel it when they tackle you. Brings up a 2nd and 6. Baylor Salas at quarterback. He's thrown 1 pass so far tonight, and that ended up in the hands of Naz Fisher. Second pass is going to be caught by Connor Winter. He got a little bit of space, a nice spin move, and Connor gets very close to the 30-yard line. There's a good pass play for the Wolves. Picks up 5.
I love that call in that situation, Titus.
And actually, I called it 5 live. I think he picked up 6 and has enough for a 1st down. So Watford City moves the chains, their 4th first down of the game, and they don't even have to convert a 3rd and short. They convert it right there on 2nd down. 2nd down conversion is always better than a 3rd down conversion.
Absolutely.
Oh, movement, but no flag thrown. As Wolves are going to keep it on the ground. Tristan DeVries with a nice stiff arm at the 35. Good carry by Tristan DeVries out to the 38-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards.
That was a good hard run by DeVries.
His 2nd carry of the ball game.
He's a patient runner. He's just picking his spots.
Yeah, that's a good word to describe that run there. as he brings it up to the 38-yard line, brings up 2nd down and 2. And boy, Ross, if Watford City could put together a good methodical drive here and put a touchdown on the board with not much time left, that would be huge as Watford City gets the football to start the 3rd quarter.
Absolutely.
Right now they're in a tough spot, down by 21, but still a lot of football game left in this one. DeVries, once again patient this time. Grand Forks Central stayed disciplined, and they're able to get the TFL. I believe it was Eli Fisher making the stop on DeVries that time. And he lost 1 yard.
You know, earlier you talked about the penalties, and of course, when you run an offense like Coach Dooley's running right now, it's not highly explosive, and so it requires efficiencies. And so I'm sure at halftime he's going to have a discussion with his boys about really playing disciplined ball in the second half.
3rd and 3 for Watford City. 1 receiver wide to the right, everybody else in close. It'll be a direct snap to Liedall-Berger, and he got through the initial line, but boy, a good stop by Sherrick, and that is going to stop Riley Liedall-Berger short of 1st down yardage. A gain of 2 brings up 4th down.
Yeah, John Sherrick just came up into that hole and greeted Riley head on. Just a polite way of saying hi.
Yes, that's right, a football way of saying hi. And now I think Watford City is going to leave their offense on the field, 4th and 2. And boy, if Watford City could convert here, that would be huge. If Grand Forks Central gets a stop, they're going to be in good field position for another potential drive. They go to the dive play. Jaden Wagner, he picks up that 1st down, and he had plenty of yardage to spare once he got loose.
I'm chuckling at myself right now. I was looking in the backfield to see where that ball was at. and then I saw it about 10 yards downfield.
And I think there were some Grand Forks Central Knights in the same spot as you, Ross, as Wagner kept that one, gets it all the way into Grand Forks Central territory. 1st and 10, now up to the 49-yard line, and the clock continues to run down to 2:22 left to play in this 2nd quarter. Salas with a couple of fakes, he keeps it this time, and he gets hit for a loss. Brody Melliker with the TFL there on Baylor Salas's 1st carry of the game. And he's back into Watford City territory after a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13. As the sun has set here now before halftime. Lights are turned on at Fridley Field. Huge crowd on hand as Salas gets ready to put it up for grabs, and he throws it to Connor Winter, and Grand Forks Central was ready for that one. Bo Lohman with the tackle right at the line of scrimmage after Connor Winter's 2nd reception of the game, but that one went nowhere. We're going to have a timeout. Timeouts are brought to you by Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial. We'll be back with 3rd and 13 for Watford City after this 30-second timeout.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Welcome back to Watford City. Stick around for your halftime show. That's brought to you by Nodak Insurance Company with Eric Mogan. We'll recap this first half, do a scoring recap, and then take a look at all the stats from the first half. Also bring you some sights and sounds from the halftime ceremony that's going to be going on here, honoring the inductees into this year's Watford City Hall of Fame. Ross, have you had a chance to look at the list of Watford City High School Hall of Fame inductees for this year?
I saw a partial list, Titus. I was pleased to know many of those folks on that list, and what wonderful accomplishments they had during their high school years here.
Yes, a couple of football teams are included in that, the 1985 and 1986 state champions in North Dakota Class B football. 3rd and 13 for Watford City. Salas rolls to the near side. He finds Lee Dahlberger in some space. Riley with a good effort, but a good tackle brings him down by Brooklyn Bruce. Let's see where they mark that one as we take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay, and they're going to mark him just short, right at the 40-yard line. So he needed 13. He picks up 12.
That was a tremendous second effort at the end by Riley Lee Dahlberger. Nearly had a Naz Fisher type situation where he maintained his balance and picked up an extra yard.
4th and 1. And it's going to be Wagner on the dive, and he's got it again. A pickup of 5, and the drive will continue. And now the clock stops to reset the chains. Grand Forks Central took that first timeout. You got to wonder if Watford City might be thinking about taking a timeout as this drive continues, but they won't here as Salas gets it on the right side of DeVries. Takes a nice route towards the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds. That's just as good as a timeout, as that'll stop the clock. DeVries with a good gain, and this passing offense slowly trying to find some rhythm, and it's been working well now for the Wolves.
Yeah, absolutely. Get it out to your quick man on the outside and let him do the work, and he did.
Gain of 6 on that play. First catch of the night from Tristan DeVries. And Salas now 4 of 5 passing the football for 24 yards. His only incompletion was an interception. And now they're going to pass again. That time it was knocked away. Good defensive play by Eli Fisher to get the pass deflection. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, we might have went to the well one too many times there.
So 3rd and 3, still 3 timeouts left for the Wolves. So really the entire playbook is open, and it would really be ideal if Watford City could march the football down the field and score with, under 20 seconds left to go in this first half.
I like Jaden Wagner 2 times here for a first down if he needs to.
That play has worked well. See if they go to it on 3rd down. It's a snap to Salas. The spinner gets it to DeVries, and he's got a first down. Once again, you called it, Ross, a patient runner, and he does that again there and keeps the chains moving for Watford City.
That was a real nice run by DeVries, and you're right. He was patient, and he got what he needed. Had good ball control.
Hurry up offense. Salas. Oh, was there a timeout? They're whistling the play dead with 40 seconds left.
Well, that's unfortunate because I think he had something going there on the right side of the field.
And I don't see them indicating.
We got a flag.
Is there a flag on the field? Okay, I didn't see anybody pointing any direction for a timeout.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Okay. First penalty of the game against Grand Forks Central, and that gives Watford City a free 5 yards.
That was a nice break for Watford City in that situation.
So stopping the clock with 40 seconds, and it's now 1st and 5 with the ball at the 19-yard line. Watford City into the red zone, knocking on the door, trying for their second score of this first half. Salas to pass. He gets hit as he lets it fly, and it falls incomplete just a little bit in front of Connor Winter. And that'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Boy, he took a shot there on a delayed blitz. He's lucky to get that off.
Yeah, that ended up being okay for the Wolves. It was way better than a sack. And even if that pass had been caught, it was going to only be maybe a 5-yard gain as the defender was right there to bring Connor Winter down if he would have caught it. So they would have likely had to have spent a timeout. So instead, just an incomplete pass. Brings up 2nd down and 5. Singer wide to the left. Salas looking his direction as they set up the screen to Lee Dahlberger. Gets by a couple and then a huge hit. And it's going to be close to a first down.
Naz Fisher put his head down and knocked Riley Liedalberger back.
Yes, and that is a first down.
It takes a load to knock that man back. That was quite a hit.
Clock continuing to run. And now the Wolves are going to have to take a timeout as Grand Forks Central ready for the dive play that time. Good tackle by Eli Fisher as he knocks Wagner down right near the line of scrimmage. So we're going to step aside for the Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial timeout. We're back with 2nd and 10 in 30 seconds.
Hey, buddy.
Hi, Dad.
Can you hang out with Grandpa for a bit? I'm down in the barn.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll be up there in a bit.
RTC Networks capture cameras. Keep an eye on what you care about.
"17 seconds left in the second quarter. Our NCC scoreboard shows Grand Forks Central 27, Watford City 6. 2 timeouts left for the Wolves, so they've got the whole playbook open, but the clock becoming a factor towards the end of this drive.
It sure is. And you're really seeing the strength in the Knights defense here, too. Their red zone defense is spectacular.
See what the Wolves have dialed up for 2nd and 10. And everybody relaxing now as we're waiting for Drew Floggen to.
Defense number 66, 5-yard penalty.
So a second penalty of the drive. Grand Forks Central had not committed one, and I'm wondering if they're getting a little bit tired towards the end of the half. I think Grand Forks Central is more excited about halftime than Watford City is, as the Wolves had some good momentum, and now this play is whistled dead. As the Wolves were getting ready for 2nd and 5. No penalty this time. Or was there? Let's see. Oh, the clock moved by a second, so they're going to put 1 second back on. Go back to 17, and it's 2nd and 5 for the Wolves. Scoreboard shows 1st and 5, but it is 2nd down for Watford City. Snap to Salas, looks right, passes right, fade into the end zone. Oh, no. And it is intercepted. Trey Clausen gets the interception. 2nd interception of the half for Grand Forks Central as we take a look at our RTC Network's instant replay. Trying a one-on-one pattern there with Connor Winter, the intended receiver. But Clausen able to bring that one in and end the Watford City drive that took 5 minutes and 55 seconds off the clock, but is going to result in 0 points.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, Titus. I like the backside shoulder in that situation rather than the way that played out, and it cost us an opportunity, but we'll bounce back in the second half.
So it's 27-6, Grand Forks Central with the lead at halftime. Stick around. We'll have your Nodak Insurance Company halftime report coming up after this break. And we will also let you in on some of the halftime ceremony that's going on down on the field here at Fridley Field. You're listening to Dakota Country 96.1 KYYZ FM and Game Day Media, and we'll be back after this 3-minute timeout.
This Game Day Media broadcast is brought to you by
Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Watford City and Alexander Athletics on Game Day Media. Call financial advisor Doug Rolfson at 701-444-4160 for all your investment needs. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
When the job demands power and precision, turn to Hagen Equipment in Watford City, your proud Case IH and Bobcat dealers. From equipment rentals to a full service department and an extensive parts inventory, Hagen Equipment has what you need to get the job done right. Stop by 805 South Main Street in Watford or visit HagenEquipment.com. Hagen Equipment, work ready, field proven.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in North Dakota. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the NDHSAA.
At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota. From oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota. Since 1978, Northern States Fishing Tools of Watford City has been your trusted partner in the oil field. Serving the Wollaston Basin, we offer top quality fishing and rental tools, including packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. With expert knowledge and decades of experience, we deliver results tailored to your needs, all at competitive prices. Give us a call, 701-842-3350, or visit northernstatesfishingtools.com. Northern States Fishing Tools, quality tools, proven service.
Welcome back to Fridley Field and welcome into your Nodak Insurance Company halftime report. Nodak Insurance Company with your agent in Watford City, McKenzie County, Eric Mogan. Our mission is to meet the lifetime financial needs of our clients by providing competitive products and outstanding service. The 1985 and 86 football teams being introduced down on the field as part of the Hall of Fame ceremony. They're going to go through all of the teams and all the individuals, including a couple of coaches that are being inducted into this year's class of 2025 Watford City High School Hall of Fame. While our brand new cameraman Quentin gives you the sights, we are going to continue on with our halftime show. Let's take a look at the scoring recap of this first half. Grand Forks Central struck early and often. They got the scoring started with a 7-play, 54-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 12 seconds off the clock, as they took a 7-0 lead after the extra point was good after a 2-yard touchdown run by Anton Perales. Made it 7-0 with 8:44 left in the first quarter. And then their defense struck for the Knights as Naz Fisher had a pick six on the near sideline. And once again, Dobrovolny added the extra point to put the Knights ahead 14-0. Watford City was able to strike right back on their ensuing drive as the Wolves went 89 yards in just 3 plays, took 1 minute and 14 seconds off the clock. Jaden Wagner with a 54-yard touchdown run to get the Wolves within 8. The 2-point conversion attempt failed. And with 6:23 left in the first quarter, it was 14-6. So that put the Knights up by 8, and they were able to add to that lead in the second quarter. They had a drive that started in the first quarter. It continued on into the beginning of the second quarter as they went 8 plays, 66 yards in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Naz Fisher with a 5-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion attempt was no good, and that made it 20-6. Grand Forks Central with the lead. And then Grand Forks Central struck once more with a 7-play, 68-yard drive in 3 minutes and 34 seconds off the clock. Carson Cutterbutt scoring on a 2-yard touchdown run. Dobrovolny added another extra point, and that made it 27-6. Watford City had a great drive going at the end of the second quarter. It started at their own 20. They got all the way into the red zone, but then a third turnover of the half, a second interception by the Central defense, ended that drive in the end zone with the interception. So it was about a 6-minute drive that took about 75 yards down the field, but the Wolves unable to get any points out of that one. And that is how the half came to an end. So down on the field, they're continuing with the halftime show and the inductees into the Hall of Fame. They have honored both football teams, 85 and 86 state championship teams, the 1967 Symphonic Band that was named as the Governor's Band back in 1967. And their director, Bruce Schwartz, got inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. They've also honored Brian Zucke. I believe they're on Rick Jory right now, and there's still a few more individuals to go. So we're going to keep it right here during this halftime ceremony as Watford City Athletic Director Brad Foss is meeting the inductees down at midfield. And the PA announcer, Greg McNary, is honoring each individual inductee along with the teams and the coaches. And with a very brief, about a paragraph about each inductee. And now comes Rowdy Lund, as we once again want to remind you, for any of you in the Watford City area, come on up to the Rough Riders Center after this football game, as they're going to have the complete induction ceremony for each and every one of this class of 2025.
You know, Titus, as we watch these individuals come through, I couldn't help but notice you have the likes of Nathan Brenna, Rick Jory, Rowdy Lund. You know, what do they all have in common? Frank Fish, Dave Doherty. Just a tremendous wrestling program history here in Watford City.
Yep, that's for sure. There have been a lot of good wrestlers that have come through Watford City High School, and it's fun to see the Watford City wrestling program in really good shape right now. We're seeing a couple of the wrestlers also here playing football, and it's a lot of multi-sport athletes nowadays, and also a lot of multi-sport athletes getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. You know, I can't help but notice too, in particular with Jory and Brenna, you know, they moved back to Watford City and freely gave of themselves to in furtherance of the wrestling program that they grow up in. And I always think that's commendable.
Yes, absolutely.
Scholastic Wrestling News All-American in 1989. That's a national award.
That's Nathan Brenna right now making his way towards the 50-yard line. We still got a few more inductees there meeting near the flagpole. And such a fun night. And we had this during homecoming last year when the Wolves played against Minot North. That was a couple of weeks later. And my goodness, the wind was blowing that night. It was windy. And ended up being, that was the night when we had a lot of fires get started across western North Dakota. So much better weather this time around for this year's homecoming and Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
I remember I was traveling that particular evening and came back on a plane, and McKenzie County was lit up with those fires. It was unbelievable.
Not good. Yeah, and our friends to the north near Ray and Tioga had an even scarier fire as far as how fast that was moving. So there was one that started by Arnegard very early in the morning. It was essentially still night from Friday night into Saturday morning. But yeah, hopefully we don't have to deal with anything like that again anytime soon. It's the family of Lynn Linseth, I believe, down there.
I have to say, Lynn Linseth, that man was a character. You know, when you look at what he accomplished during his high school tenure, his professional career in the military, a man with humility and a sense of humor. I miss Lynn Linseth.
Yeah, and such a unique biography. Some of the things that he was able to do. Won an Army swimming medal, played football at Army, and then he served as a guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the bodyguard for President Dwight D. Eisenhower, protected Queen Elizabeth when she came to the U.S. And then what a dedicated man he was to rodeo and so many other things. So it's a great honor for him and his family, for Lynn to be inducted into this Hall of Fame.
The 800 meters, as well as the 1600-meter relay. Christine went on to compete.
Of course, now you have Christine Bruins-Schmaltz. I had the fortunate experience of watching her run as my daughter grew up through a track program here in Watford City, and she was nothing short of an amazing runner and an amazing person.
Yep, she set some Watford City records, and then she went on to NDSU and set some records there too. So she continued her athletic success beyond high school, and yeah, certainly another very deserving honoree and inductee into the Watford City High School Hall of Fame.
She's one of the few runners I remember Coach Brown saying, if you can just, he told everybody else in the relays, if you can just keep us in 6th place, we can win. She ran the anchor, and we won.
6th place, isn't that something? Here's the family of Bob Waldall, and he made a big impact here in Watford City, and then he went on to Beach and had some incredible success down there coaching the girls basketball program. He coached both boys and girls up here in Watford City, and he put together an incredible coaching resume over his entire career there. They have stopped the clock at 3 minutes left to go. They'll give each team some time to warm up, as a little bit of an extended halftime here in Watford City. Once again, we want to remind you your halftime show this season is brought to you by Nodak Insurance Company, with your agent in Watford City and Mackenzie County, Eric Mogan.
Well, Titus, I think it's going to be interesting for us to learn what Coach Dooley had in store for his team over halftime and the changes that they're going to make in the second half to try and put a bottle stop on this Knights offense. They are potent.
They certainly are, as we see Gary Knutson making his way there to midfield. Another very impressive resume and biography that man put together, and very deserving inductee into this year's Hall of Fame. That's Gary Knutson. Now we have a second. Let's look at some of the stats from the first half. Watford City totaled up 173 yards of offense, 143 rushing yards, 30 passing yards, but 2 interceptions that hurt the Wolves, as Baylor Salas connected on 5 of his 9 passing attempts. 2 of them went to Riley Liedalberger for 17 yards. Tristan DeVries had a catch for 7 yards. Connor Winter, 2 receptions for 6 yards. Rushing the football, Jaden Wagner ran it 7 times for 95 yards and a touchdown. Tristan DeVries, 4 carries for 42 yards. Riley Liedalberger with 6 carries for 9 yards. And Baylor Salas, 1 carry for -3 yards, 18 carries for 143 yards and a touchdown. As a team, they had 3 turnovers that really hurt them, just 2 penalties that only cost 15 yards. So penalties wasn't an issue for the Wolves, but turnovers sure was. As Bill Liebel being honored right now, and I think he is the final one on this year's list. Bill Liebel When you think of the career that he put together as being a scorekeeper and also a PA announcer, think of one word when you think of Bill Evil, that's dedication.
Absolutely, Titus. I'd say Bill Evil exemplifies dedication. That's a long stint for anybody,
yes.
and Bill did it as well as anybody.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, it's interesting when you were talking about the statistics and we look at what the Knights have been able to hold Riley Liedl-Berger to. There's no question that they've game planned for him most of the week.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen why. They are a good defensive team. Watford City has already rushed for more yards than any of their other opponents have, but so far it's only totaled up to 6 points. Let's take a look at GFC offense so far in this one. 3 of 7 for 18 passing yards. Anton Paralis with a catch for 7 yards. Carson Cutterba with a catch for 6 yards. Zayden Martin with a catch for 5 yards. So 3 receptions for 18 yards as a team. Rushing the football, they've ran it 17 times for 141 yards and 3 touchdowns as a team. Naz Fisher leading the way with 98 yards on 10 attempts and 1 of the touchdowns. Anton Paralis had a touchdown on 4 carries for 35 yards. Carson Cutterba, the other touchdown, on 2 carries for 8 yards. Noah Lease ran it once and gained 0 yards. 2 penalties for 10 yards against Grand Forks Central. They have not turned the ball over, and that's really been the difference in this first half. Grand Forks Central +3 in the turnover differential. They have started the clock once again. We're going to step aside for our final halftime break, and we'll be back with the third quarter after this 2-minute timeout.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries.
But like, maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand.
But like, maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank.
But like, maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let us prove the difference.
Farmers Union Oil Company of Watford City has been serving the customers in and around the surrounding community since 1929. Farmers Union Oil believes in community involvement and has supported numerous activities since the beginning. We take pride in giving back to our patrons through dividends and stock retirements. Our customer service should be our top focus to ensure a pleasurable experience for you, our customer. Whether you're looking for gas, fuel, hardware, or just needing to fuel the body, Farmers Union Oil is your one-stop shop. GameDay Media is proud to showcase our local athletes, but we can't do it without the support of our community. We're inviting business owners like you to join our growing list of sponsors. Sponsorship not only helps give student athletes the recognition they deserve, but also puts your business front and center with fans, families, and the community. Partner with us today to promote local athletes and your business through GameDay Media. Together, we make a winning team.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in North Dakota, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Welcome back to picturesque Fridley Field, and look at that, a picturesque sunset to go along with the football game down on the field. It was a pretty picturesque first half for Grand Forks Central and their fans. Watford City played well at times, but turnovers really hurting the Wolves, and they've found themselves in a bit of a hole here as we start this third quarter.
Well, they sure are. You know, last week we mentioned how adversity breeds champions, and when you look at what the Knights went through last year with injury and record, they have bounced back spectacularly. I think that's obviously the leadership of Coach Schauer, but those 25 seniors, that's a difference maker.
It certainly is. Watford City will get the football to start this second half. After winning the toss, they deferred to the second half. And now they will get ready to go. And we'll see if Carter Breitbach can have a chance at another return, as Dobrovolny had a good night kicking the football. And he will send this one deep. Breitbach settles under it at the 11. He drops it, picks it back up at the 15, tries to come to the near side, and that special team speed from Grand Forks Central erases any hope of a good return there, as Quante Henry gets the tackle deep in Watford City territory.
You really got to look at the speed of the Knights there, didn't you, Titus?
Yeah. Just a slight bobble by Carter Breitbach, and they were all the way down the field. As we take a look there at the Watford City offense, getting ready to go for their first possession of this second half. And every possession is important, but this possession really can determine the way that this game is going to play out right here. A good possession, you're right back in it. A not so good possession, and you're really looking at a tough hill to climb. Watford City goes to Riley Liedal-Berger on 1st and 10, and he finds a small hole over the right side. Picks up 2, bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, we talked about injuries earlier. I guess we're benefiting from some injury. The Wolves sustained injury to Jaden Wardenke earlier this year, got a broken foot, and now he found himself in the booth doing some technological stuff back there. So welcome to the booth, Jaden.
Yes. And we've got Jackson Lee once again at producer doing a great job. And Quentin Kirchhoff making his Game Day Media debut on the camera, just like Ross was making his Game Day Media debut last week. As Grand Forks Central says the football came out. No official signal yet, and it looks like it's going to be 3rd down. So the Wolves maintain possession. Jaden Wagner on that carry gets it up to the 18-yard line.
I guess that means, Titus, you're working with a lot of rookies. Some of them are just older than the others.
Well, I'm a rookie as well when it comes to being on the YouTube side of things. Over 1,000 games on the radio, but I'm pretty new to this YouTube thing, and we're learning together. It's had a few hiccups along the way, but that's how it goes. Just like a player or a coach or a ref, you keep on going and do your best and try to improve as the game goes along. Wolves hand it off on the right side. No running room there as Grand Forks Central's defense flexes their muscles once again. Nolan Marshall with the tackle out of Riley Liedal-Berger, no gain. If you haven't done so yet, we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube page, Game Day Media ND. You can also find us on Facebook. David and Randy post things throughout the week. I also add a few things there as the week goes along. It's Game Day Media. So 4th down for the Wolves, and Salas is going to roll and then punt once again. Similar play to last time. Once again, Grand Forks Central does not have a return man back there. Clausen went back near the football, but he'll let it be down by DeVries at the 46-yard line. So a 3 and out for Watford City's offense. And now it's going to be up to the defense to try to get a big stop with 9:26 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
I'm not sure who that official is out there that just one-handed that catch, but that was pretty impressive.
We've got some good officials here in the western part of the state, but could always use more. If you're interested at all in officiating any sport, try and make that a reality, because here at all across the state, official shortages, a lot of athletic directors have to change game times and game days that they're able to start due to officials. So anybody who's willing, we could use you as an official. Naz Fisher, first carry of the second half, and that puts him over 100 yards rushing so far today, as he picks up about 8.5 on that carry and gets it into Watford City territory.
Yeah, they gave Naz a little rest there at the end of the second quarter, and he comes out just as strong as he did in the first.
Yep, he may have benefited from halftime. Along with Grand Forks Central, Watford City had the momentum going in their direction as the Wolves held it for nearly 6 minutes towards the end of that first half, but just weren't able to turn it into points. And so now Grand Forks Central with the football after they get the stop on defense. Now a 2nd and 2, quick pass to the left side, caught, and the receiver brought down by Singer after he gets around the first attempted tackler, and that's Brooklyn Bruce, who picks up a Central first down.
Brooklyn Bruce, he's an amazing story. Suffered a serious injury last year, required emergency surgery, was able to battle back, had a strong season for Central in their basketball program, and here he is picking up where he left off last year when he was healthy.
First catch of the game for him, 9th first down for the Grand Forks Central offense, as they've got it down to the 40-yard line of Watford City. That's a new quarterback out there as well, as he hands it off to Sherrick. That's Brody Ledegy in at quarterback, hands it off to John Sherrick on that first down carry. And
you can see Coach Showers kind of rotating in some of his younger players, getting them some experience, getting them ready for the next season.
Brandon Spacier with the tackle after Sherrick. That was his first carry of the game. He's had some good stat lines throughout the season, but his first ball carry on that play. And that brings up 2nd down and 3. Ledegy hands it off to Sherrick. Over to the right side, inside the 30, down to the 25. That's a gain of 9 and another first down for Grand Forks Central.
You know, that was a really nice run, but once again, that offensive line for Central is just making holes for their backs. They do a great job up front.
They marched the football all the way down to the 24-yard line of Watford City after their 10th first down. This drive continues. Grand Forks Central leading it on your NCC scoreboard, 27-6. Ledegy takes the snap, hands it off to Sherrick, coming to the left side. Good job by the Wolves defense to stretch that play out, and Tristan DeVries with the good tackle.
That was a great tackle, one-on-one.
Give Sherrick a gain of 1 on that play as they move the football near the left hash mark. Still in between the hash marks as we near the midway point of quarter number 3. Grand Forks Central leading Watford City 27-6 on homecoming night for Watford City. Ledegy takes the snap, rolls to his right, gets a block. Pass is incomplete in front of Martin, and it bounced up there to him, and that'll stop the clock and bring up 3rd down.
You know, Titus, these long sustained drives that Central's been able to put together that culminate in a score, they just don't take the wind out of the sail. They also really wear down our players, especially those players that are playing both ways.
Yes, Watford City, especially on the line, has a lot of players that play on both offense and defense, and they could really use a defensive stop here on 3rd down. Well, this is probably 4-down territory if you're Coach Schauer and Grand Forks Central. Handoff goes to the right, and that will be Sherrick, close to a first down. Connor Winter made the stop, and he is going to be short a little bit, so decision time now for Coach Schauer.
You know, it'll be interesting to see what we do here. He's got double Voney. He's got the leg, obviously. So does he want to maybe work on a little red zone offense, or is he going to give him a shot? It looks like they're going to go for it.
No wind tonight. Looks like the offense will stay out there. We'll see if the Wolves can get a turnover on downs. That would be a big plus in the momentum category. As Ledegy lines up in the pistol. Takes the snap, hands it off to Sherrick right up the middle, He didn't get it initially. With the second effort, he got close, but I think the Wolves may have stopped him. They sure think they do. And yes, that's a turnover on downs. Good job by the defensive line.
That'll be a big momentum booster for the Wolves.
So that drive takes off 4 minutes and 24 seconds off the clock, but most importantly, Watford City does get the turnover on downs, and they put their offense back onto the field near the point where last drive started. This one at the 15-yard line. .5:02 left to play here in the third quarter as the Wolves offense gets ready to go, and hard-hitting defense for Grand Forks Central once again puts the Wolves to the turf. That was Baylor Salas, the ball carrier that time, picks up 4 on first down.
You know, with the speed that the Knights have in their defensive backfield, it's really hard for Watford City to try and soften that up. They're really stacking the box again, containing our run, the Wolves' run. It's just makes for a long night.
That was John Sherrick with the tackle there. He's making an impact both on offense and defense, especially in this second half. As Salas rolls to his right, looking for somebody to pass it to. It's tipped, and it falls incomplete. Dangerous pass there by the Watford City quarterback. He's had 2 of his passes picked off. That one got tipped way up in the air, but it does fall incomplete, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6. 4:14 left to play in quarter number 3. Neither team has scored yet in this third quarter. 21-point lead for the Knights. How about the student section, Ross? They made some great noise yesterday at the volleyball game for Watford City. They're making some noise once again here tonight at the football game.
Oh, it's been a big week in Watford City, and you can really see a lot of fan support. It's fun to see that kind of activity.
Third down, they fake it to Riley Liedalberger. Wagner was the ball carrier that time, and forward progress gives him a gain of 1, but they needed 6 for a fresh set of downs. So now it's 4th and 5 for Watford City. And it seems like Grand Forks Central has gotten prepared for that dive play. That was the big play that turned into a 54-yard touchdown for the Wolves back on their scoring drive in the first, but just has not piled up the yardage like it was doing earlier in the game. 4th and 5. Looks like the Wolves are going to line up to go for it. We've seen them punt out of this formation. Salas looking to throw it. He's going to get hit and sacked. A drive-ending sack. And let's check the RTC Network instant replay on that one. I believe it was Ethan Feldman with the sack.
You know, Grand Forks really runs to the ball. They're very aggressive. I wonder if Coach Dooley has some delayed route, like a tight end drag built into his offense someplace that they could maybe run and take advantage of maybe even the over-aggressiveness of the Knights defense.
They get the sack that time, and they will take over 1 yard closer to the end zone than their last drive ended. That ended at the 15 after the sack. They've got it at the 14 to start this drive. Snap not quite where it was supposed to be, but Lettigy able to get it down, and he hands it off to Naz Fisher, who does the rest, and he is in there for a 14-yard touchdown run. Well, let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay. Little bit of a snap mishap, but Fisher, I don't know if you even call that a handoff. Fisher just
Naz Fisher is a hard-nosed runner. He pancaked Carter Breitbach on his way into the end zone.
A one-play, 14-yard touchdown drive. That took 6 seconds. And it's Naz Fisher with the 14-yard carry and his second touchdown tonight, giving him 12 carries for 120 yards of offense. The extra point is up, and it is good. With 3:17 to play in the third quarter, Grand Forks Central leads Watford City 34-6, and we'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
When you have financial questions or ideas, you need someone to listen and provide insight about your options. Shiloh Chavez and her team with LPL Financial can review your specific situation and help create a strategy unique to you and your goals. Give her a call at 701-842-4244 or email at shiloh.chavez@lpl.com.
So one play drive has put Grand Forks Central ahead now, 34-6. Time starting to become a factor for the Wolves as their offense just has not been able to get started on their first two drives of this half. We'll see what they can do with it in their third possession after this will be returned by Aaron Luna. He caught it inside the 10. Nice return outside the 25. It's stood up there near the 27-yard line. Tyson Vanyo with the tackle. And Watford City will have their best starting field position of the second half. It's still not great, but it is out to their own 27-yard line.
You can see that Watford City has two real nice returnmen in Aaron Luna and Carter Breitbach, both dangerous.
Yes, Luna with the first return attempt for him today, and it is a good one out to the 27-yard line. I call it a 19-yard return. And the Wolves looking for the right combination on offense. This time it's going to be Riley Liedalberger heading towards the short side of the field, and he gets ushered out of bounds. That was Carson Cutterba. Get credit for the tackle there. A gain of 3, and the clock stopped for that play out of bounds. Riley Liedalberger just up to 14 yards now, even after that carry. So he has not had the same amount of real estate to work with as he did the last two games. And so far, Grand Forks Central doing a nice job defending the Wolves' leading rusher, Riley Liedalberger.
Oh, yeah, you could see Cutterba scraping right along, made a nice stop.
This pass is tipped high up in the air, and that was almost intercepted by Eli Fisher. As we take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay, it's going to hit Fisher right in the back. And that's an unfortunate situation that the Wolves have to deal with Baylor Salas not being the tallest player on the field. He's listed at 5'7", 152, but he's given up some size against all these Grand Forks Central defenders.
Oh, yeah, and speed, you know, when you look at the speed of the linebackers for Grand Forks Central, that's a luxury.
3rd and 7, they're going to snap it to DeVries. Started up the middle, tries to go to the outside, but just no real estate for him to work with. And this Grand Forks Central defense, the Wolves made some big plays in the first half, but so far in the second half, they're showing why they only allow 64 rushing yards per game coming into this one, as they have just been able to close down every single lane the Wolves have looked for tonight in this second half.
They have a real nose for the ball, Titus. They fly around. They're fast. They're just fun to watch.
They are. They're a good team. Connor Winter now in more traditional punt formation. Lets this one go his first punt of the day, as Salas had done all the other punting. And look at that. He's going to get a nice Watford City bounce all the way into the red zone. And that will be downed down there by Bryson Wolf. But a good job by the Wolves.
Watford City needed that. They need a little bit of breathing room. They need to play some good defense and get a stop if they have any hope of trying to get back into this game.
A 62-yard punt from Connor Winter. Most of the time that you see something like that in North Dakota high school football, there's a 40 or 50-mile-an-hour wind blowing at the back of the punter. No wind tonight, just a good punt and bounce from Connor Winter there. This drive will start at the 19-yard line for Grand Forks Central as they go to work with a 28-point lead, trying to make it 4 wins in a row to start this season. The snap goes through the hands of Ledegy. He is going to pick it up and try to make something out of nothing all the way back near his own end zone, breaks a tackle, and he is going to turn it into a gain of 0. That was a lot of action for 0 yards.
I have to tell you, I'm impressed with Brody Ledegy right there. That ball bounced right back up into his chest. I thought Watford City might get a tackle near the end zone, and he took it out. He looked pretty darn good on his feet.
He certainly did. I think, they mark it right at the 19. So that was one of the most action-packed 0-yard gains you will ever see. And all that did was move the football to the right hash mark. And now it's second down. Lower snap that time. Ledegy gets it in and hands it off to, I believe that is Paralis on the carry there. And over the left side of the offensive line, he picks up 9. And that'll bring up a 3rd and short for this Grand Forks Central offense. Give him 7 yards on that carry, so 3rd and 3. Central doesn't have to run a play. There's a 13-second differential in the game clock and the play clock. And it looks like they will let... Oh, they are going to snap it. Okay. And they will pick up a first down. That was Paralis there, getting it up to the 35. Harper Moberg with the tackle after the 12th first down of the game for Grand Forks Central. So that'll be the end of quarter number 3. As we go to the quarter break, it's Grand Forks Central 34, Watford City 6. We're back with the 4th quarter after this 1-minute timeout.
Hey, Dad, will you check the cows?
Use this instead, Grandpa. The cows look fine, Dad.
In my day, we had to sleep in the barn to check the cows.
Combining tradition and technology. Respecting the past while embracing the future. RTC Networks.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Well, let's get started with the 4th quarter. The quarter start is brought to you by Northern States Fishing Tools, a locally owned fishing and a rental tool company serving the Williston Basin since 1978. The first play of the 4th quarter is Ledegy rolling out. And once again, kind of another adventurous about 0-yard gain. Good job by Brandon Spacier to escort him out of bounds. Brandon Spacier, the 6'4", 220-pound junior, making the play there. And we'll give him credit for a sack, as that's a loss of a couple yards. Stops the clock with 11:53 left to play in the 4th quarter. Grand Forks Central proving why they're the number 3 team in the state, as they've had a good night tonight, both offensively and defensively. Ledegy will hand it off to Paralis. Nice cutback up the middle, first down, and oh boy, all the way up to midfield. Harper Moberg with the big tackle. Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay on that run and tackle.
Stopped by Will Langford. And
pickup of 14 as the ball is right at midfield and right on top of the Wolves logo. First and 10, Knights. 2 receivers to the right, pistol formation. Ledegy takes the snap. Thaden Arnold gets the pressure to him, and he's able to get that pass off. Incomplete. Connor Winter with the coverage on the intended receiver, Brooklyn Bruce, and it falls incomplete.
Well, I'm impressed with what I see with sophomore Ledegy. He's got a nice arm. He's mobile. For an underclassman, it seems like he has a good command of the field. It'd be fun to watch him grow as a player.
And showed off the arm strength there. That was not an easy pass to get off with Thaden Arnold closing in on him. Thaden Arnold headed toward Minot State to play football next year. It's because of plays like that. 2nd and 10 for Grand Forks Central. Ledegy hands it off to Fisher. Big hole over the left side, inside the 40, inside the 35. Langford with another tackle, but not before another 16-yard gain for Naz Fisher. RTC Network's instant replay taking a look at Naz Fisher over the left side. Pickup of 16, the 14th first down of the game for Grand Forks Central, their 3rd of this drive. And they're all the way down to the Wolves' 34-yard line.
You don't really see many of those Central players looking to avoid contact, do you?
No. 1st and 10 for the Knights. Fake the handoff to Fisher, toss it back, and running room for Clausen. He gets a block out in space from Bruce inside the 15, down near the 10. And this is what the Wolves were doing to their opponents in the second half of the last 2 games, and tonight they're getting it done to them. There is a flag down. That may have been too good of a block.
Yeah, I think we have a hold on the outside on
Bruce.
Yep, Brooklyn Bruce.
Yep, that is the call. So the 3rd penalty of the game for Grand Forks Central. Both teams have not done a too bad job in the penalty department. Let's see, 3 against Grand Forks Central, just 2 against Watford City.
I think he may have just grabbed a little too much jersey in the end. Otherwise, he had a real nice block on the perimeter.
So that backs the Knights up to their own, to the Watford City 36-yard line. 10:30 left to go in the 4th quarter. 1st and 12 for the Grand Forks Central offense. Ledegy hands it to Fisher. Breaks a tackle and stays on his feet, gets inside the 30. And another good run from Naz Fisher.
You know, I feel just privileged to watch Naz Fisher. I thought they had him at the line of scrimmage, and the next thing you know, he's 8 yards downfield. Strong.
He sure is. 143 rushing yards on 14 carries. He's still averaging over 10 yards per carry. He has 2 rushing touchdowns. And Central, I think they're just going to keep the ball on the ground here for this drive, as they've been having their way in this second half. Good offensive line play and then outstanding running by that man right there. That's Naz Fisher again. Harper Moberg able to bring him down, but not before another first down for Fisher.
You know, as the game wears on, I feel like Naz Fisher just keeps getting stronger, Titus.
That's what it seems like, yeah. Pickup of 6 there. We've got 9:09 left to play in the 4th quarter, and ticking down on your NCC scoreboard. Grand Forks Central up 34-6. And the way this game is going, Watford City probably won't be too happy with the result, but they showed signs throughout the game of making plays at different times, and really end the non-conference part of your schedule at 2-2. You still have everything to play for. Here's a quick pass. It's caught by Brooklyn Bruce, and he scampers into the end zone for a 23-yard touchdown to put Central ahead 40-6. Ross, take us through the RTC Network's instant replay.
There you can see Brooklyn Bruce. He ran a real nice route, took it across the middle, strong.
Second catch of the ball game. First touchdown, first passing touchdown for Grand Forks Central. and it will stay 40-6 after that conversion attempt is no good. 8 minutes and counting left to go in the fourth quarter. Grand Forks Central up 40-6. We'll be back with the kickoff after this 30-second timeout.
Since Nodak Insurance Company started, we've gone from paying by mail to paying online. Your proof of insurance is found in an app, and as farming technologies advance, our coverage protects. The way we live and work has changed, but our service and commitment remain. We're evolving to meet your insurance needs, with answers where and when you need them most. Nodak Insurance Company. Stop by our office in Watford City and visit with Eric Mogan and Brady Monroe to see how we can help.
$7:15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Grand Forks Central ready to kick it deep. Dobrovolny, he's had a lot of practice doing kickoffs here tonight, and he has looked good, and it's going to be really interesting to see how Grand Forks Central is able to continue once they get to their conference schedule, as they're going to be playing out there in the AA East. That'll go over the head of both Breitbach and Luna. It'll be another touchback for Dobrovolny.
You know, Titus, you could tell there's a lot of strength in the East again this year just by, you know, who's in the top of the power poll. And no secret, Kindred undefeated in the preseason. Central undefeated. It'll be real interesting to see the battle of the Titans over there in the east side.
Yeah, and then of course out west, Minot North is really good this year, and Watford City will get a up close and personal look at Dickinson next week. And I think Watford City has a chance to make some noise in the west this year. We'll see. It all depends on you showing up the night that your opponent is taking you on, and it's going to be a fight to the finish in both the West and the East in AA football. As this pass is caught by Langford on the near sideline, stacked up and dropped at the 24-yard line.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Central played Dickinson last week.
They did.
It was a 44-21 victory in favor of the Knights.
You're correct. Yep. First catch of the game, first catch, I believe, of the season for Will Langford. There on first down, picked up 4 yards. Baylor Salas now up to 6 for 12, passing the football for 34 yards. And he has had 2 interceptions. So the Wolves have tried passing the football more than the last weeks, as this one goes to Wagner. This time the dive play works well, as he will pick up another first down for the Wolves. Their first of the second half. Gets it out to the 41-yard line. Pickup of 17.
That was a really well-designed play by Coach Dooley.
7th first down of the ball game. Clock runs inside 5.5 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. One receiver wide to the right, Salas and Liedalberger. And this is going to be a direct snap to Liedalberger over the right side. Nice blocking there, and he gets it up to midfield before he is pushed backwards. Good gain of 8 on that carry. Brings up 2nd down and 2.
Aiden Hinsey on the tackle, but not before Riley picks up about 8. Bring up 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2 for the Wolves. Ball spotted right at midfield. Thanks for joining us this evening on Game Day Media and also on Dakota Country 96.1. Snap to Salas, hands it off to DeVries. Big hole up the middle. He's at the 40, 35, 30. One man to beat, and Tristan DeVries is into the end zone for a 50-yard touchdown run.
What a beautiful run by DeVries.
50 yards.
Well, you could see how quick he is once he gets to the outside. He just outran those defenders.
And DeVries takes it to the house. Second long rushing touchdown of the game for Watford City. And the Wolves, with their first score since the first quarter, that was a nice run by Tristan DeVries. Making it 40-12 on your NCC scoreboard. John Holland hustling out there, and looks like the Wolves took a little bit too long. May have not been ready for that extra point attempt. And it looks like we're going to have a Shiloh Chavez and LPL Financial timeout. So we'll be back. We'll have the extra point attempt coming up after this 30-second timeout.
At Johnson & Sundin Law Office, we combine big case expertise with small town service. Since 1980, we've fought for clients across western North Dakota. From oil and gas disputes to serious injury and wrongful death cases, probate, agriculture, and more. No matter what issue, our experienced team is ready to stand by your side. In our office in Watford City, we're here for you, wherever you are. Johnson & Sundin, expert legal representation rooted in North Dakota.
Yep. The extra point attempt was blocked, so it remains 40-12. And the Grand Forks Central Defensive Special Teams unit ready to go on that play as they block the extra point, and it keeps it at 40-12. So some good momentum there for the Wolves as they put together that 4-play 80-yard touchdown drive on the 50-yard run by Tristan DeVries. Gets them back to within 28. We'll just keep it right here. Let's do thank a couple of our live read sponsors while we have a moment, including WCAG Church, one church, multiple locations. You can check the service times there on your screen. Also, the McKenzie County Heritage Park and North Dakota Oil Museum. It's Heritage Day tomorrow. Going to be beautiful weather. Coming out to the Heritage Park on the west side of town for an outstanding full day of old-time activities. And also, I want to thank the Wolf Pack Booster Club. The strength is in the pack. Check them out on the Wolf Pack Booster Club Facebook page. Up to a great start this year supporting Watford City athletes and activities. A onside attempt, but Grand Forks Central is ready for it, and Eli Thompson recovers that onside kick attempt. So Grand Forks Central will send their offense out, start this drive right at midfield. Piled up 14 first downs, and I've got them now for 48 passing yards and 240 rushing yards.
Eli Thompson's a nice player. He's another young man who overcame some adversity from last year. He had a broken leg, missed a good part of the season. You wouldn't know it looking at him tonight.
Yeah, two receivers to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Carson Cutterby. He tries to bounce it outside, and he does towards the Grand Forks Central sideline. He's going to pick up 4 or 5 yards where they mark him out of bounds. A gain of 4 brings up 2nd and 6. Third carry of the ball game for Cutterba. He has one of the 4 rushing touchdowns for Grand Forks Central tonight. Under 4 minutes remaining in the ball game. Ledige has had quarterback duties for much of this second half, and he will hand it off here up the middle. Short gain as Harper Moberg gets another tackle and then helps Cutterba back up to his feet. Carson Cutterba once again on the carry, another 5 yards.
Number 31.
Well, I'm sure Coach Schauer is trying to get his underclassmen as many reps as he can. You know, football's a game of next man up. And as nice a quarterback as Noah Lisi is, if he gets injured, he's got to have somebody there, and I think they got a really good substitute in Lettigy.
He has looked the part here in this second half. 2 receivers to the left. 3rd and 1 as Lettigy takes the snap. Handoff goes to the right side, and Cutterba breaks 1 tackle, and Winter able to slow him down enough for DeVries to come and finish the tackle off, but that's a gain of 4.
That's another sophomore out there. You know, Lettigy a sophomore and Cutterba just a sophomore. They've got some nice young talent coming up through the ranks.
You're going to look at that RTC Network's instant replay. All effort on that play as he gets it down to the 37-yard line. Clock continues to run, so it looks like Grand Forks Central is going to remain undefeated to start this 2025 season. Watford City going to drop their first home game of the year and have their non-conference record even up at 2-2 as both teams get ready for conference play. Be a handoff. Cutterba. Good job by Thaden Arnold to slow him down with one hand.
That's quite a fella to be pulling around the field.
Let's take a look at the RTC Network's instant replay on that one. Look at the strength right here.
He just held him up and waited for all the other Wolves to get there.
Great job by Thaden Arnold, who I believe was named Homecoming King a few hours ago at Coronation. Amelia Wisness named Homecoming Queen, so congratulations to those two.
Two great representatives of Watford City High School. I mean, they do really exemplify good human beings.
And then Will Langford, he's out there playing football as well. He was named Prince, and Lauren Melland, Homecoming Princess for 2025. Congratulations to the entire Homecoming court representing Watford City. There's Cutterba, and he gets it over on the left side, and I think he ended up with the first down on that carry. Another impressive run from him. And Ross, 3 different ball carriers have carried it at least 7 times. 4 have carried it at least 5 times, and all of them have piled up lots of positive yardage. Now as a team, 37 carries for 264 yards.
Such a balanced running attack loaded with talent.
With 1:11 left to go here in the 4th quarter. As it looks like they're going to run out the clock. And this is going to be, an impressive win for Grand Forks Central as they made the long trip to the western side of the state. And they're going to kneel out the clock. Sent Ross Sundin down on the field. He's going to try to catch up with our First International Bank and Trust player of the game and also get some post-game coaches' comments as well. Coming up on your post-game show will be brought to you by Johnson and Sundin Law Office. Final score tonight as the teams shake hands down at midfield. It's going to be the Grand Forks Central Knights 40 and the Watford City Wolves 12. So congratulations to the Knights as they remain undefeated on this 2025 campaign. And they get ready for Fargo South next week. Watford City will travel on the road down to Dickinson. We're going to step aside. We will have some coaches' comments from Ross Sundin on the field with head coach Jake Schauer as we'll get into our post-game show and also catch up with our First International Bank and Trust player of the game. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout.
You could put your dog in charge of deliveries,
But maybe don't.
You could plant your field by hand,
But maybe don't?
You could point in any direction and randomly choose a bank,
But maybe don't?
Cornerstone Bank offers high-tech, high-touch options when you want efficiency or need advice. Get the best of both, banking the way you want it. Come to Cornerstone and let
Coach, balanced running attack. Now's your great game tonight. All phases, really. Your offensive line, where do your strengths end?
I don't know. It's a team that they just play really well together, and none of these guys get mad when the other one goes in, and we try to keep our running backs fresh, with a good rotation, and when you have a selfless football team, good things happen.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy the bus ride home.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ross. Catching up with Victoria's head coach Jake Schauer after his team improves to 4-0. And Ross is going to stay on the field after both teams are huddled up there getting some final words from both of their coaches recapping this one. And so while Ross looks for our First International Bank and Trust player of the game, we're going to do a second half scoring summary here tonight. Both teams scored in the second half, but Grand Forks Central outscoring the Wolves 27-6 in the first half. Watford City scoring 6 in the first compared to 14 for Grand Forks Central, and then 13 more for Central in the second to lead at 27-6 at halftime. In the third quarter, Grand Forks Central had a one-play drive that took 14 yards and 6 seconds off the clock, a 14-yard touchdown run by Naz Fisher, who is going to be our first International Bank and Trust player of the game. Extra point was good to make it 34-6. And then in the fourth quarter, Watford City got on the board after Grand Forks Central scored one more touchdown. It was a 9-play, 81-yard drive by Grand Forks Central. It started in the third, ended in the fourth, took 5.5 minutes off the clock, and a 24-yard pass from Ledegy to Brooklyn Bruce. And that made the score 40-6 after the Wolves got a good block on the two-point conversion attempt. And then Watford City got their second score of the game with a 4-play, 80-yard touchdown drive that took 2 minutes and 29 seconds off the clock. 50-yard touchdown run by Tristan DeVries. And it looks like Ross Sundin has caught up with our first International Bank and Trust player of the game. That is Naz Fisher.
I'm down here with Naz Fisher, National Bank and Trust.
Ross, I think you're going to have to step a little bit closer to us. We can hear you okay, but let's get a little bit closer to our wireless receiver there.
If Naz has any strength to get to the middle of the field here. He's had a pretty busy night.
Boy, and while you guys walk, let's take a look at his stat line. I've got him for 15 carries, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And then on defense, he had a pick 6. All right, Ross, take it away for our player of the game.
Naz, that was impressive tonight. Pick 6. How many touchdowns, Titus? A bunch.
2 rushing touchdowns and then that pick 6.
2 rushing touchdowns and a pick 6.
Yep,
Tell me about it, please.
Just listen to the teammates and the coaches. Do your assignment and alignment. That's what we always say, double A's. And we get a W with it. That's all. Just really, like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my team. Like sophomore year, junior year, same guys. Junior year was rough. Same team, same squad. Lost 3-4 seniors. Literally same squad. Have no excuse to not play as hard. And yeah, and with the coaches letting us know what to do, how to play, fixing us if we're doing it wrong, we may adjust to it, then we can start playing physical football.
Tell me about that offensive line of yours. They seem to be creating some pretty good holes for you out there tonight.
Yeah, offense is really good, and like we have like 3-4 seniors, we have 2 juniors on it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I really wouldn't. Without them, we wouldn't be scoring anything, not even rushing, but passing yards with our quarterback Nora Lease and our receivers Brooklyn Bruce, Tyson Van Gogh, Zayden Martin, tight end Eli Thompson too, and yeah, really a specialist, and we wouldn't do anything without the big dogs.
That's awesome. Go enjoy this win with your teammates. Enjoy the bus ride home, and good luck to you this season.
Thank you.
Titus, the first International Bank and Trust player of the game, Naz Fisher.
Thank you, Ross. And make sure you get that First International Bank and Trust placard back from him there. We only got one of those. All right. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more on your Johnson and Sundin postgame show after this 30-second timeout.
Titus, I found Coach Dooley down here.
Okay, we've got Coach Dooley for some more coaches' comments. And Ross, yeah, if you're ready, let's hear from Watford City head coach Jim Dooley.
You bet. Coach, I think we just saw a real good team in Grand Forks Central Knights. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, they're undefeated for a reason. I mean, you get this far. And, yeah, they've been playing well. And basically they've, maybe with the exception of their opener, where everyone's in the opener, you're a little glitchy at times. They've been pretty solid and just kind of run through people. I felt like we had a decent start after we threw was it a pick six or was it a pick close to, yeah, it was pick six. I knew they got a big play on that. And that's one that, I don't know. I think we need to try to evolve our offense a little bit going into region play. And it's kind of your last week. I don't want to say to experiment, but it's your last week to kind of see some different things you can maybe get and kind of figure out exactly who you are. I think we have a pretty good idea of who we are, but we're trying to maybe give ourselves just a few more cards in the deck to play once in a while.
What are you looking forward to next week?
Well, that's going to be a tough challenge too, but it's a region opponent who I think we know each other some. Now they have a new coaching staff, so there's going to be that, and we've seen a little bit on them, and I'll admit we probably spent a little time looking ahead just because it is a region game, and that's that counts for something more than these games do. So we looked at them a little bit. It's a lot of similar kind of stuff. They throw the ball really well. Have a good quarterback. Their quarterback's returning from last year. But I think I don't know how they did tonight, but they've won one, so we could be coming in same record or similar. But I think we played a lot of the same teams, so I think it could be a good game. We just got to kind of bounce back from this, and sometimes a game like this isn't bad to refocus you.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, Coach. Best of luck.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you very much, Ross. Good job down on the field there. And thank you to our coaches' comments sponsor, Farmers Union Oil. And also your player of the game sponsor, First International Bank and Trust. So once again, let's run through the final numbers. Naz Fisher, 15 carries, 149 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For the outstanding Grand Forks Central running back and linebacker, he had a pick 6 early in the first half. Anton Perales, 7 carries for 64 yards and a touchdown. Carson Cutterba, 7 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown. John Sherrick, 5 carries for 21 yards. As a team, 264 rushing yards for Grand Forks Central and 3 takeaways on defense with a fumble recovery and that Naz Fisher pick 6 and the Trey Clausen interception for Grand Forks Central. For Watford City, they ended up with 265 yards of offense, 34 passing yards from Baylor Salas. Riley Liedalberger, the leading receiver, with 17 yards on 2 receptions. Connor Winter, 2 catches for 6 yards. Tristan DeVries with a catch for 7, and Will Langford with a catch for 4. Rushing the football, Jaden Wagner led the way today for Watford City. 11 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown, a 54-yard touchdown run. Tristan DeVries had a 6-attempt game for 92 yards and a touchdown. Riley Liedalberger, 9 carries, 22 yards. Baylor Salas, 2 carries for 1 yard. Watford City did a good job limiting penalties tonight, just 2 penalties for 15 yards. They did have 3 turnovers, and those hurt in the second half. Well, we want to thank all of our sponsors who made the broadcast of tonight's ball game possible. We also want to thank our great crew tonight. Quentin Kirchhoff with his first game as cameraman did a great job bringing you the sights from Fridley Field. Jackson Lee doing a great job in that producer's chair. And Ross Sundin doing a wonderful job as both color commentator and sideline reporter. He gets to put the miles on once the game starts, and he did a great job tonight as always. Next week, the Wolves will travel to Dickinson, and we are not going to have that game. We are going to be traveling south for some Class A football as the Killdeer Cowboys, ranked in the state, now at number 3. And yeah, you can see next week's games right there. They went from unranked up to number 3 with a big home win over Dickinson Trinity, and they will host Bowman County. You can check the rest of our Game Day media schedule there on your screen. A couple of volleyball games, and then once again 3 football games next week. So that'll do it for us tonight from Watford City. Once again, the final score, Grand Forks Central 40, Watford City 12. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Tonight's Game Day Media broadcast was brought to you by RTC Networks, Hagen Equipment Incorporated, First International Bank and Trust, Nodak Insurance Company, Eric Mogan, Johnson and Sundin, attorneys at law, Shiloh Chavez with LPL Financial, Farmers Union Oil of Watford City, Patriot Fuels LLC, Mackenzie County Heritage Park and Museum, Cornerstone Bank,
TNT Measurements Incorporated,
Northern States Fishing Tools, WCAG Church, Doug Rolfson, Edward Jones Financial Advisor, Wolfpack Booster Club, NCC, Dakota Country 96.1 FM.